Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching or listening to this podcast. This is Doha Heat. I am Stefan Limbo Jones, the CEO and founder of Ginger Camel. I am sitting in for Elizabeth Wood. Just a small message. We recently discovered that animal shelters in Qatar are going through a crisis situation and need funding to be able to save and continue to shelter the hundreds of animals in Qatar. We have set up a GoFundMe and the link is shared in the show notes, so please help us to help them. So, on to the show. You might recognize this guy next to me. He's a good old friend of mine. He is Everton Fox, and he is the weatherman of Al Jazeera English. So, welcome, Everton.
Thanks very much. Great to be here.
It's good to have you on. It's been, I've known you for so many years now. We played a little bit of tennis.
Got to be over 10 now, I'm guessing, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been
here forever.
I've been here for 12, and you've been here 11 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of met initially at various parties, and then on the tennis court after that.
Yeah. I've even had a massage or two from you.
Yeah, thanks.
That's another story.
Now everyone's going to be thinking, what? So
I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, all right. No, look, I was a holistic masseur, so I did offer those services. Anyway, Everton, over to you. Thanks, mate. My first initial question is, what brought you to Doha in the first place?
Well, I've been working in the field of meteorology since 1991, so quite a long time. And in 2000, I joined the BBC. I was there for 7 years, working across all platforms. And
was that in front of a screen, or was that behind the scenes?
That was initially. I started off on BBC World, and did some bits and pieces on Radio 4, bits on Radio 2.
Oh, so you're on radio first?
Yeah, initially it was World. It was World.
Okay. But BBC World. Okay.
Yeah, but radio does take up part of the shift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I did some bits and pieces on it was News 24 then. It's now BBC News. Yeah. So the 24-hour news channel, and then I ended up as the main presenter on 5 Live, and doing Test Match Special. That was that was my main gig.
Test Match Special? You mean?
Yeah, doing the forecast for the cricket.
Oh, doing the forecast for the cricket.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Not actually doing a presenting on.
No. I love my cricket, but no.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Not to that standard.
So, let me ask, what was it whether that kind of were you interested in weather, or were you interested in being a presenter, and then let's present the weather? Yeah. Did you always want to be a presenter?
No.
So
it didn't even occur to me. It was one of those things. I mean, way back in the old days of O levels.
Yes, I
remember.
You remember O levels? I don't know if anyone else knows what O levels is.
But yeah, so when I did my O levels, I did geography, and in geography, there's a climate paper, or there certainly was. I think even some schools have dropped it. Some curriculum don't carry it.
See, geography was the only exam that I got a U on.
Oh.
I had to, I retook it because I thought, no, there's no way that I got a U. But no, for some reason I could not get geography. Anyway,
how did the retake go?
I think then I got a D or something like that. So
well, that's progress.
Not too good. Yeah. So anyway, yes.
So yeah, there is a climate paper.
Okay.
And on that climate paper, you get to study weather, and so you get the basics. It's just air mass theory, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of the basics of presenting the weather or understanding the weather. Let's say. And that was just something that seemed to click at the time. After that, I went to college and did business studies, and left school and went into work. And
so you didn't?
I didn't go straight into.
You didn't go straight into it?
No. I did 5 years at the DHSS, as it was, and
really
DSS. Yeah. Working as a benefits clerk. And
wow.
Then and I don't know what it was. Something dawned on me. Why don't I write off to the Met Office and see if they've got any jobs going? And
that's just with your O-level geography?
I did A-level as well.
Okay, so you went on to A-level geography.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But ironically, to go into forecasting, you actually need maths and physics. Geography is not really
Really?
You might well know where a place is on a map, but it's more the science behind it rather than locating where somewhere is that matters. But that was my introduction to the weather.
Okay.
But yeah, there's loads of physics and chemistry behind what goes on in the atmosphere above us.
Yeah. So okay, you wrote to the Met Office, and then obviously you must have got a good response.
Just wrote on the off chance, got any jobs going, kind of thing. And initially they had nothing. They said, we're not recruiting at the moment, but we will let you know when we are. And a few months later they got back to me, and then I went for an interview. And I remember at the interview actually, they put a weather map in front of me and just, do you remember, can you tell us what you think the weather's doing around Denmark? It was, for some reason I remember it was Denmark. Okay. And so I did a little sort of, this is happening, that's happening, whatever.
Yeah.
And, so that seemed fine. And would you be interested in going on TV or radio at some time? I'd love to do that. Not really thinking that it could
Not really
happen.
thinking it through, or just...
No, you just sort of say, you want to get the interview, don't you?
Absolutely.
It's that sort of thing. But
so when did you find yourself the first time? Was it radio or TV? Must have been radio, was it?
The first presentation, because BBC World's all recorded. So that's fine. Radio is obviously, it's live.
Yeah.
So you have there are no reruns. So that's the good thing with it, with something like a recorded broadcast. Although at some stage you just got to kick the crutch away and just get on with it. Haven't you? It's just one of those kind of things.
And can you remember your first kind of recording?
I can. I had Bill Giles was my he trained me for the presentation side of things there, and it was July of 2000. I did my first world broadcast. Probably did about 7 or 8 takes. To do it. And looking back at it, it was pretty ropey. But
did you keep your recording, or have you got your first recording?
It's probably in the loft somewhere. I would guess. I don't honestly know.
Is it on tape or is it disc or?
It would probably be on video. I don't know actually. I don't know if I've even got it. You come out here and stuff ends up in the attic or in the in the garage or in storage.
Half my stuff is gone. Just
It just rots anyway.
Absolutely.
Stick in.
There's always a leak in the loft or something like that they never realise until you want to get your stuff out, and then it's just full of mould and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's it been so far? So you found yourself. Oh, I'm jumping, but basically, so you were at the Met Office. How long? And BBC World.
Yeah, I never answered the question, did I? So I did 7 years at the BBC, and then I got a call. I got tapped up by Al Jazeera. We're setting up a new channel. This was in 2006. This would be so.
Oh, they gave you a call. You weren't looking.
No, I wasn't looking. No, I was happily minding my own business, and just getting on with it. And I got a call. We're setting up this new TV channel. They need weather presenters. Would you be interested in coming out? This was September 2006, and they launched in November, didn't they? Yeah. And eventually, after lots of, should I or shouldn't I?
Yeah. What was the kind of? Why did you feel, okay, I need a change, I'm going to go and take myself off to Doha?
It was one of those sort of situations where I didn't want to sort of look back in 30 years' time and sort of, I wonder what would have happened if, that what if kind of thing.
Yeah, but you're working for the major broadcast organisation in the world.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's still seen as the benchmark, isn't it?
Absolutely. But you felt, no,
I just thought I'd come out for 2 or 3 years, like a lot of people.
One of those.
Got that wrong.
Yeah.
Another missed forecast.
Okay, so...
just sort of give it a try and see, and then...
and you never look back?
No, at the moment it's still rolling.
And you don't feel like you want to go back to the BBC? Or do you feel that's your retirement package? Go back to the BBC?
Well, this is it. I'm a lot closer to retirement than
all of us. After 10, 11 years, you look back and go, oh, I was quite young when I first came out.
Yeah, this is it, Really.
Actually, you're doing quite well. You haven't got any grey. Where's all your grey bits?
bit of colour here and there, but don't tell anyone.
Oh, I see. The makeup artist.
Help it on the way. A bit thinner on top as well. At least I'm facing the camera.
Not looking too bad.
I'm struggling. I'm trying, hold it together.
Yeah. So how's it been since you've been here? And how was it in the first few days? Because Al Jazeera English was a new channel. So was that kind of exciting to be part of that experience?
It was all very exciting, yeah, absolutely, and just sort of getting the kind of feedback that the channel was getting at the time, not necessarily from the other weather presenters are fantastic or anything like that. I'm sure that was there somewhere, but it was, for a channel that was establishing itself and gradually getting more.
Yeah,
it
was big news.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, nice to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So.
Was it frustrating at times, because you've come from an organisation that had its policy and procedures, and then you're going to like a start-up broadcaster? Was there frustrating points?
At times it can be very frustrating, but by the same token, because it's new, you can kind of steer things in a way that you may want it to do. So there's always a bit more scope for doing something slightly different with, as a weather presenter, or just getting on set and doing a bit more from that point of view.
So you were quite hands-on and quite happy to change things or adapt to things.
You can mix it
you
up. You
didn't have your
bit.
diva hat on. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm getting at. Yeah.
No. I'd like to think that I'm not a diva. I could be correct.
Anyone can write in and say otherwise. Okay. So what's the importance of working in the field of weather and meteorology? I knew I was going to struggle with that. Well, how have things changed? And, what my main interest is actually is with global warming. How do you see kind of that, or, living here in Doha, do you see that kind of the weather affecting the local climate?
Yeah, and Doha is obviously, or the Middle East in general, is a very interesting place when you do think in terms of global warming, because this is obviously a kind of place with a growing population, and that all adds to global warming. We're here, this nice air-conditioned office. It means it's pumping out heat somewhere else in order for us to, and we're driving around in our nice big cars, and we're adding to the burning of the fossil fuels kind of thing. Now, I do know that Qatar does make some effort with regards to reducing the carbon footprint, shall we say. But there are lots of little things that we can do. From my point of view as a weather presenter, I like to sort of just chip in from time to time and just remind people that global warming is true, despite what Donald Trump throws in the mix. Every now and then it's things like the hurricane season that we had last year, for example. The awful weather that we had. You had the three major ones, in particular Harvey, which cost absolute billions. It was the most expensive hurricane season on record. Last year's was. Katrina was before that. That was back in 2005. But when it cost you that kind of money, so every now and then you can't attribute any one storm, any one situation to global warming. But when it happens more and more frequently, you just sort of keep reminding. It's almost like the dripping tap kind of scenario. Because obviously people switch off and go, it's global warming again, and you just sort of forget about it.
But do they? Because it's becoming more and more.
I hope you're right. I'm glad you asked the question like that, because
what amuses me, or doesn't amuse me, is that I was watching BBC, not BBC, but British TV the other night, and the weather presenter comes on, and they're talking about the summer and the temperatures and how nice it is that they've got high temperatures of 25 to even maybe 30, and I'm thinking, but yes, that's not, well, I suppose in the UK you're always grateful that there's some nice weather and it's a bit warm, but doesn't that kind of ring a lot? Every time I see high temperatures, I think, isn't this all part of global warming, and then we should be more fearful that temperatures are rising, and or do we not? Do we just go, it's going to be a nice day, it's going to be a nice week, and thanks very much?
There's certainly an element of that, isn't there, where you just want to enjoy the weather, and I think the UK is a nicer place as anywhere when the weather is good in the summertime. I think it really takes some beating anywhere.
Oh, absolutely,
in the world,
for sure.
But yeah, when you start getting into the high 20s, into the 30s, you know it starts to get a bit humid as well, and it's uncomfortable. And there we don't generally have the AC.
No, you do.
So you can't sleep at night.
No. Everyone struggles, don't they? They open the windows, but that just doesn't make things better. It's just humid and clammy.
Yeah.
And everything's carpeted, so nothing's really cool inside either.
No. My little tip there: open the loft. If you can just drain down some of that cooler out. From the loft, but that depends if you have one. You know,
well, that's
living
true.
in an apartment, it may not happen.
Yeah. But so every time I watch the weather, it's just alarm bells each time, because I just think, rising temperatures and.
Yeah, it's when you get the extremes that you should really start to worry, because every now and then you like to think that you're going to see these sort of temperatures. Average temperature at this time of year in the UK, for example, is in the low 20s. Scandinavia's been getting up into the high 20s recently. They've had
absolutely. They've had really good
proper heat wave. Yeah. But then you start getting wildfires.
Yes, which doesn't help.
It doesn't help. No.
Yeah, because I just saw on the website yesterday that it was midsummer on the 21st. So it was. But they had rain. They've had glorious weather, and then suddenly, for the time where they celebrate outdoors and everyone's outside dancing around the maypole.
Yeah, for the solstice.
Then it's complete.
It's just flipped.
Wet. So it's ironic. Okay. So you mentioned that during the show you might mention about global warming, or. Is there anything else that you do within the community to kind of promote the environment?
Yeah, because it is about global warming and climate change, and it is the things like every now and then, as I say, you just throw these figures out there. Like last year was the third warmest year on record. The warmest was 2016, and then it's 2015. But little things like the fact that the 5 warmest years on record have taken place since 2010. The 10 warmest years since 1998, and the 20 warmest years since 1995. So that gives you an idea of the trend. The Paris Agreement talks about the 2 degrees above industrial levels. We're already at 1.2 Celsius above. So it just to remind us that we do need to start doing something, and we really need to do something now, because it's like turning an oil tanker. Things will just keep on going. Even when you've made the effort to stop it, it just takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time
to turn it around. And.
But you as a personality, my question more was like you as a personality. Are you doing anything on a local level in the community? Because you could, going to schools and talking about.
Yeah, maybe I do need to do more on that. As I was saying earlier, just off camera, I've done a couple of presentations. I've been into schools and talked about things like the weather, and there's no reason why not. And it's easy things that you can do to make a start. Just recycle what you can, and
Absolutely.
Don't waste electricity.
I think you'll be a great ambassador. I think you need to get up there.
Get myself out there.
Absolutely. Then that will increase your Instagram following. I was on his Instagram earlier just to see how many followers he had, and I thought, no, surely Everton's got more followers than what he's got. But then I did see his presentations on Instagram, and I can understand why you haven't got many.
I need to get you involved in my presentations.
Oh, look, I'm learning all the time. You're more natural than I am. I'm just, this is part-time. So for you, moving ahead with future plans, are you quite happy to stay here for the near future?
Yeah, for the time being, I don't have any plans to go elsewhere. But it's, as I say, summer 2006, I was happily minding my own business, and then all of a sudden,
that's true.
Something happened, and I end up out in the Middle East.
So you quite fancy another startup broadcasting organisation?
Oh, well, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that. But yeah, as you said, I think it's more important to do things like just to make people more aware as and when of things like climate change. And
I think you should, and I'm going to be. This microphone keeps on falling. I'm going to be on your back for that, because I think you'll be a great ambassador, especially because you come from that whole weather side of things, and you are, a personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
He's looking at me.
No, thank you. No,
look, we'll be playing tennis, and I will remind you on a regular basis. On a side note, how do you know, what keeps you busy on a day-to-day in Doha? You know, what can you recommend for people that are thinking of coming here to Doha to live, etc.? What would you say were the key things to, you know, do in Doha?
The key things to do. It is one of these places where a lot of things happen and you don't realise until after they've happened. I think that's
that's always been the common message by everyone,
which is really frustrating, isn't it? But you do get some major events. I mean, like the tennis tournament's always good to go to. You mentioned tennis, golf, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of the things that we did, I haven't done it for years now, but things like just going out into the desert and doing a bit of dune bashing, you know, that kind of thing.
Do you see yourself doing that in waves? You know, that was the first thing that you did when you first came, and then it kind of dies off, like dune bashing, and then you think, oh, I haven't done that in years, and then
yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking on a personal experience that's what we did at
when
the
beginning.
When
did you last do it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was about 7 or 8 years ago.
This is it. Because when people come and see, you know, people visit. That's the time.
Yeah.
To, you know, oh yeah, let's do that. I'm not so sure about doing it in my own car. I have to say, you know, just go on one of these guided tours kind of.
Guided tours is a good one.
That's
if you go in your own car, generally, well, speaking from experience, I get stuck, and then I have a local Qatari kind of save me.
Yeah.
And they're always happy to do that. So from a personal experience, any kind of you know, things that you would recommend apart from the dune bashing, and has it, you know, this is from a Doha Heat perspective, is you know, attractions, are there more attractions, have you noticed, as the years have gone by, of things to do?
Just simple things like just going to the museums, those kind of things that you would do in any normal city.
Yeah.
You know, there are places like that you can go to in Doha. There's been some great art exhibitions, for example, down at the fire station.
Yeah.
You know, that's lovely, and obviously down at the Museum of Islamic Art.
Yeah.
You've got to go and have a look around the souk from time to time, obviously.
That's always nice when you have someone come and visit, is to actually go back to Souk Waqif and see Doha through their eyes, because, you know, when you've lived here for quite some time, you get a bit blasé sometimes, so, you know, what you see, but when you have a friend come over who hasn't been here before, and then you get to see Doha in a new light, it's fascinating. Also, I just got a motorbike for my 50th.
Oh, I saw your picture on Facebook. Get you.
You see Doha in a new light. You ride around. It's amazing. You really appreciate, you know, what you've got, and there's so much more that's been built as well recently. Yeah.
For people who have been here over 10 years like us, I mean, you know what the roads were like when we first got out.
Oh, absolutely.
You'd be crazy on a bike in those days.
But now, great.
It's doable.
It's great. Fancy getting a bike?
No. It's too hot.
No, it's not too bad actually when you're riding around, and I do it early morning, so it's.
And you're sensible with all the leathers.
Absolutely. They've got new jackets which are quite breathable, so you don't have to wear that big leather, but it's still got all the protection. Yeah. So it's quite cool.
As long as it's not shorts and a t-shirt. You know,
no. Oh no, I've seen a few bikes. Oh,
scary.
Yeah, riding in flip-flops and shorts. It's just like, really? Because I've come off a bike once before, and I was only doing like 5 miles an hour, and I saw the damage it did through my protective trousers. It's just like sandpaper.
Yeah.
So when I see people in shorts and flip-flops, no, on a powerful bike as well, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble.
Absolutely.
You know.
Anyway, Everton, is there anything else that you want to kind of add? Is there anything that I haven't really touched on? Is there any other secrets apart from me massaging you?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
No. That's probably about it. Just watching the football and enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. Are you rooting for England?
I'm rooting for England. I'm expecting very little, but I think we should.
Well, I think
last
that's
16
good.
Could get last 8.
Yeah, but I think that's good. I don't think there is much pressure for the English team, because everyone throughout the years have always put pressure on them, and now it's just like we've given up. So it's just like, whatever, wherever they end up, it's good. But there isn't that expectation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But who do you think's going to win the World Cup?
Oh,
looking at the form of
yesterday was a funny old day because I kind of the way Brazil played. I mean, I always like to see Brazil. Brazil's Brazil. It's everybody's favourite second team. The way they played, it's like yeah. Neymar should have got booked for that.
Absolutely.
It's horrible. I'd have been happy to see them lose.
They should have a gold boot just for acting. He'd come out tops.
A golden dive.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there should be. I don't know if there is. There should be certain awards for those sort of things. But and I'm so glad there's VAR just to counteract that. Otherwise, they would have been like 10-0 up with his acting. Yeah. In the penalty box.
The VAR's been a bit hit and miss, obviously.
Oh, it has.
But at times it can be great. But
yeah.
Brazil, Germany was. It's hard. The way Germany played yesterday was horrible, and they, obviously from turning Sweden over like
Sweden,
that. But
not nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went and won it.
Well,
they always start slowly.
Yeah.
They've just started really slowly.
Yeah.
It's hard to bet against them.
Oh well, we'll see.
We will see.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. A shout out, just don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. If you have an iPhone, just say, "Hey Siri, subscribe to Doha Heat." If you're interested in business, we also publish Your Onion podcast, where we peel away the layers of various businesses in Qatar and the Middle East. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.